We have a former senior a member of the National Democratic Congress, who's a senior of the party, and also former Interior Minister Kwesi Ahwoi, apologizing for the comments that he had made during a celebration of Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman being selected as the running mate to John Dramani Mahama. Now, let's go on to the video wall and take the details of this apology, and then we'll give you why the apology. It says that I have taken notice of the unfortunate controversy that has arisen as a result of a comment I made at the reception organized last Thursday by the Church Street group of the NDC faithfuls of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, running mate to our esteemed flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I sincerely regret the wrong impression that my comment has created. Indeed, it was not my intention, and never will it be my intention, to pray that His Excellency John Mahama does not serve his full 4-year term when he wins the 2024 general elections. Continue to say, I concede that I misspoke on the occasion. I accept the criticisms in good faith, even though some of the criticisms arise out of a deliberate misrepresentation of my statement. Indeed, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, in response to my toast, pointed out the erroneous impression created by my statement and was categorical in asserting that she was certain that His Excellency John Mahama will win the 2024 general elections and serve his full 4-year term. It is unfortunate that my statement appears to have taken the shine of what was otherwise a cheerful and light-hearted occasion. Now, I hereby render an unreserved and unqualified apology to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, the leadership of and the rank and file of the great NDC, comrades and friends, let us put this unfortunate incident behind us and unite behind our flag bearer, the visionary nation builder, to rescue our beloved country in the December 2024 election. And it's signed by Kwesi Ahwoi, former Interior Minister, also former Ambassador. Now, joining us on phone for a discussion is a senior lecturer, Dr. Lloyd Ahwoi, Department of the Political Science, and Director, Center for Asian Studies, University of Ghana. Lecturer, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Who am I speaking to, madam?
Right. So, Doc, so we have gone through last night. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, who am I speaking to, madam?
Oh, this is Annie, please. This is Annie Ampofo.
Okay, Annie, how are you? Okay, let's get cracking.
Right. Thank you for your time. So, last night we received an apology following the comments that were made by former Minister Kwesi Ahwoi, about the term of office and subsequent takeover by Mahama and all that. How do you see, everything that he said at this program, at this function that he said was meant to celebrate Nana Jane's selection?
Well, I mean, Mr. Kwesi Ahwoi is a veteran politician. He's been engaged in the service of our republic. He's no spring chicken regarding public affairs, and especially also regarding his party's affairs. So I guess he was trying to provide some kind of perspective on a very weighty matter, which is the presidency, especially as we go into elections 2024 in December. So, well, it's public discourse, and he tried to offer some kind of perspective. I mean, when you look at it in terms of commentary, I don't think that it's that problematic, except that maybe you have people who felt that, it kind of suggested or sought to suggest some kind of position that they themselves decided to read into what he said. But it's commentary, and I don't think that, we should be seen to be clamping down on on discourse in our republic. We need that for this democracy that we are building. Of course, it's good that he's come back to try and clarify what it is that he wanted to put across, and also to point out those who, for their own, agenda, decided probably to twist things a bit. But I think that we should not lose hair on this matter. It's discourse, and especially for the presidency. It's been 30 years since we began to run this presidential system, and it's gone through a lot of phases, including some very serious shocks, including losing a chief of state or a president in harness, that is when he was in power. And I think that we've matured enough to be able to take all kinds of critiques and positions. And so, well, one of those things in terms of going public to talk on weighty national matters, yes.
So this is what he has written that is even off media, but it's sort of contributing to a discussion. And he said, I remember the U.S. President Ronald Reagan regularly being corrected in his goofing utterances by his handlers. What you heard the president say is not what he intended to say. And what he intended to say is not what you heard, and what you heard is not what he said. Seeking to clarify further, this was just a personal message that he sent to my phone. So must people really accept his explanation and apology? Because if you listen to the comments he made, at some point he said, nature takes its course, of course, which you can put many spins on it, because nature will do many things apart from death, that in this case happened to Professor Mills. Is this something that you want people to indeed take his apology and accept it?
Yes, I mean, the apology is to try to deal with, the spins that were put on what it is that he said. But on a broader level, I think that we have the if you like, the maturity and the fortitude, mental fortitude, cognitive capacity to take some kind of wisdom from what it is that he's saying. We faced a crisis in terms of the presidency when President Mills passed, and we had to move very quickly and avert a constitutional crisis. And so he's trying to draw attention to these things so that when we are doing the pairings, in terms of presidential candidate, in terms of who becomes the VP, all these questions are taken into consideration. I think the outpouring of responses seem a bit too sensitive. And as I say, I'm a student of Ghana's presidential system.
But
I think that we should be able to take these things and not get all flustered and sensitive.
I think it would have been easy to be taking it lightly if it had no history. But in this case, we've had political parties facing issues of attacks on each other, deaths and allegations of people being behind political deaths, explanation to death, medical, reports that people are asking. And so when comments of this nature comes, it's understandable that people would, bring it to scrutiny.
But I mean, yeah, you have a point. But we brought a lot of these things on ourselves. Why haven't we clarified a lot of the issues that have been raised so that it seems as if we essentially, functioning in the realm of speculation and innuendos and speculations, I think we must learn lessons. When things occur, we should begin to get the facts right, clarify things officially, properly, move quickly to calm the waters, and do so with trails of paper and all of that. I think a lot of things have been left hanging, so that that has created a certain atmosphere of accusations, counter accusations, fear, and all of that. And so, yes, that poisons the atmosphere, no pun intended, but that is what it does. And so when somebody coughs, people think that, it's a shot fired, a cannon let loose to bring about some mayhem and all of that. It's not good for us, for our politics and for the republic, you know. And I think the backlash with this reflects all of the obvious, almost, you know, anguishing, if you like, fear and suspicion that has tended to cloud, you know, power at the highest level of our republic. Yeah, you know. So it's a lesson. We need to on a broader on a broader level move to calm the waters when events happen to you know, or issues come up regarding politicians and even other public figures, so that there will be a fairly clean slate without you know suspicion and all of that, and that obviously will help us. In other places, when you know, a political figure is sick, you know, all the facts are made known. I mean, the recent, you know, sickness of a member of the royal family. We know the sickness, you know, regarding, you know, Kate. We know the medical, at least suggested, however, you know, maxed the information has been provided. We know that King Charles is not that well, and all of that, you know. So information flow, clarity, sincerity, and then people will be able to talk and provide discourse. We need this kind of discourse so that we will be on guard. Right. And we should be ready for the worst case scenario. You know, it's an adult world and it's complicated, you know. So those in politics, those in power, those who aspire to be in power should be ready for these things and not you know, be seen to be going after, you know, a public figure who makes a case and wants to draw our attention to stuff that we need to be on guard on. So, well, he's apologized. Let's take, you know, some kind of lessons from this, but at the same time, we should allow people to vent their views and then have a healthy debate and discourse, instead of suggesting that because Z has been said, then it means that something Y is going to happen. The connection is not mechanistic, it's not deterministic, it's almost infantile, you know. So let's grow up. And I think the Fourth Republic has grown up. It's been 30 good years. We've had how many presidents? The last count 5, you know, we're going to the 6th in terms of the personalities. We have kind of, you know, become fundamentally more or less mature in this journey, especially when it comes to the Fourth Republic presidential history. So let's be ready to take the blows and roll with them, roll with the punches, actually.
Right. Dr. Lloyd Ahwoi, political communications expert, we're grateful for speaking to us here on News Beats, and that is on the back of comments that have been made by Mr. Kwesi Ahwoi, who is a former Interior Minister and also former Ambassador, and it seemed to have, you know, raised eyebrows, you know, following the death of Professor Mills being taken over as president by John Dramani Mahama, and people are putting all sorts of interpretations on the statement or the comments.